out them digging for gold in the street.
Dad used to sing the songs. You know, that was part of our childhood.
I've been to a great many places and wonderful sights I've seen, from Navajo to Kilmano and back by Ballyporeen. But when they talk of the places that over the ocean lie, when they says to me, Pat, what do you think of that? I ups and I says I, have you ever been to Dromcolliher? You haven't? Well, now I declare, just wait till you've been to Dromcolliher and see what a fine place we have there. Oh, there's only one street in Dromcolliher, but oh, what a glory to see. You can talk till you're dumb, but give me your drum, for drum is the place for me. I was over in London quite lately, and I gave Queen Liz a call. Said the butler, she's out, I don't think she's about. I don't see her yet in the hall. But if you would like to look around some at the beautiful source we're there, then he says to me, Pat, what do you think of that? I ups and I says I. Have you ever been to Dromcolliher? You haven't? Well, now I declare, just wait till you've been to Dromcolliher and see what a fine place we have there. There's only one street in Dromcolliher, but oh, what a glory to see. You can talk till you're dumb, but give me your drum, for drum is the place for me. You're getting no more.
It was in Gortnamona is the one heartbreaking song that we're getting who he really is through that song. The private Percy rather than the, showman or entertainer, Long, long ago, in the woods of Gortnamona, I thought the birds were singing in the blackthorn tree. But oh, it was my heart that was ringing, 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 with the joy that you were bringing, oh my love, to me. Long, long ago, in the woods of Gortnamona, I thought the wind was sighing around the blackthorn tree. But oh, it was the banshee that was crying, 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 and I knew my love was dying far across the sea. Now if you go through the woods of Gortnamona, you'll hear the raindrops creeping through the blackthorn tree. But oh, it is the tears I am weeping, weeping, weeping,
he wrote Come Back Paddy Reilly to Belgium stuff while he lived here in Belturbet. Paddy Reilly was his Jarvie driver, and he didn't know him particularly well. One day he showed up at the train station in Belgium stuff, and Paddy Reilly wasn't there, and he was told that Paddy Reilly had emigrated, and then he wrote the song. I would have always known that song when we were younger, would you have? And I would have.
Absolutely. It was kind of always in the background, different versions of it. It was always there.
Oh, the garden of Eden has vanished, they say. But I know the lie of it still. Just turn to the left at the bridge of Flynn, and stop when halfway to Goodnight. It's there you will find, I know sure enough, as fortune has answered my call. Oh, the grass it grows green around Ballyjamestown, and the blue sky it shines over all. In tones that are tender, in tones that are rough, come a whispering over the sea. Come back, Paddy Reilly, to Ballyjamestown. Come home, Paddy Reilly, to me. My mother once told me that when I was born, the day that I first saw the light, I looked down the street that very first morn and gave a great crow of delight. See most newborn babies appear in a huff and start with a sound and face go on. But I knew I was born in Ballyjamestown, and that's why I smiled on them all. The baby's a man now, he's toil-worn and tough, still whispers come over the sea. Come back, Paddy Reilly, to Ballyjamestown. Come home, Paddy Reilly, to me. Oh, come back, Paddy Reilly, to Ballyjamestown. Come home, Paddy Reilly, to me.
Only good night, sweetheart, and not farewell. Though for all time thou art where angels dwell, though for a time those eyes lose their soft light, let there be no goodbyes, only good night.
You heard to fill the Fluter from the town of Ballymock. The times were going hard with him, in fact the man was broke. Now he sent an invitation to his neighbours one and all, as how he'd like their company that evening at the ball. When writing out he was careful to suggest to them, if they found a hat of his convenient to the door, the more they put in whenever he requested them, the better would the music be for battering the floor. With the toot of the flute and the twiddle of the fiddle, oh, hopping in the middle like a herring on the griddle, oh, up, down, hands around and crossing to the wall, oh, hadn't we the gaiety and filled the fluter's ball.
There's Doherty who kept a running dong, little crooked Paddy from the Tirralogged bog, boys from every barony and girls from every art, and the beautiful Miss Brady's in a private assent cart. Along with them came bouncing Mrs. Cafferty, little Mickey Mulligan was also to the fore. Thorn. Rose Susan and Margaret to Rafferty, the flower of Almagullen and the pride of Petrivore. With the toot on the flute and the twiddle of the fiddle, hopping in the middle like a heaven on a griddle. Up, down, hands around and crossing to the wall. Oh, hadn't we the gaiety at fill the floater's ball?
Of police, he was heard for to say the crimes on the increase, and the worst of the lot for breaking the law of the men that you find around Tullinghaw. Cattle they drive and terrible, wanting the whole of Ireland horrible. Mischief that soon would be incomparable if it's not stopped in Tullinghaw.
They're up and said that I should go and have a try for to get a girl who owns a bit of land. And I know by how he said it, and the look was in his eye, that me mother has the whole thing planned. Maybe so, I don't know, but sure to mollify them greatly to agree. And 'tis little Bridget Flynn, and 'tis her I want to win, but she doesn't have an eye to me. Now there's a girl that I know, and she's worth her weight in gold, and sure that's a decent dowry, don't you see? And I think I'll go and ask her if I ever grow so bold, if she'll come and have an eye to me. I don't know, will she go? But I'd like to have her sitting on me knee, and I'd sing like a thrush on a hawthorn bush, if she'd come and have an eye to me.
Looking at the range of the Mourne mountains from Skerries one clear afternoon, I found myself repeating, "The mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea." This line kept recurring to me till one day it wedded itself to an old Irish air, and the combination seemed so happy that I set to work, or rather shut myself in my top room with pen and paper and waited.
Oh, Mary, this London's a wonderful sight, with the people all working by day and by night. They don't grow potatoes, nor barley, nor wheat, but the gangs of them digging for gold in the street.
At least when I asked them, that's what I was told. So I just took a hand at this digging for gold. But for all that I found there, I might as well be where the mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea. Where young Peter O'Loughlin, of course, well, he's over here now at the head of the force. I met him today, I was crossing the Strand, and he stopped the whole street with a wave of his hand. And as we stood talking of days that were gone, sure the whole population of London looked on. But for all his great powers, he's wishful like me to be back where dark Mourne sweeps down to the sea.
They talk of Columbus sailing across the Atlantic Sea. But he never tried to go railing from Ennis as far as Kilkee. You rush for the train in the morning. The train is to leave sharp at 8. You're there when the clock gives its warning, and there for an hour you wait. And as you wait there on the train, you'll hear the guards give this refrain. Are you right there, Michael? Are you right? Do you think you'll have us there before it's night? Well, 'tis hard to say for certain. Sure, we got so let us startin', but we might, no, might, sure we might. Are you right there, Michael? Are you right? Do you think you'll have us there before it's night? 'Tis hard to say for certain. Sure, we got so let us startin', but we We might now, Michael, sure we might. Well, they find where the engine's been hiding, and that drags us to sweet Corofin. Says the guard, back her into the side, and sure there's goods for Kilrush coming in. Perhaps they get here in an hour, perhaps they get lost on the way. If they do, says the guards, be the power, sure we're stuck for the rest of the day. Kilkee, you'll never get near it. You're in luck if the train brings you back. Sure, the way of that engine's so queer, it spends half of its days off its track. Uphill the old engine is climbing, with the passengers pushing until they're in luck when they reach Innistymen, for all the way home is downhill. And as you jump back on the train, you'll hear the guard give this refrain. Well, are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think you'll have us home before it's night? It all depends on whether the old engine holds together, but it might now, Michael, sure it might. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think you'll have us home before it's night? Well, it all depends on whether the old engine holds together, but it might now, Michael, sure it might. Are you right there, Michael?
Yeah, boy.
Friday at the fair in Ballintubber, Eileen met McGrath, the cattle jobber. I'd like to place me mark upon the robber, for he stole away the pride of Petravore. He never seemed to see the girl at all, even when she ogled him underneath her shawl, looking big and masterful as she was looking small, most provoking to the pride of Petravore. Eileen, oh, me heart is growing grey, ever since the day you wandered far away. Eileen, oh, there's good fish in the say, but there's none of them like the pride of Petravore. So it went as it was in the beginning. Eileen Og was bent upon the winning. Big McGrath contentedly was grinning at being courted by the pride of Petravore. Said he, I know a girl who could knock you into fits. At this Eileen nearly lost her wits. The upshot of the ruction is that now the robber sits with his arm around the pride of Petravore.
And they were there standing at the quayside waiting for the ocean liner to leave. And they overheard a young chap say, they're probably cutting the corn in Creeslot today. And that's where he got the great inspiration for that lovely song, that Emigrant's letter.
Dear Danny, I'm taking the pen in me hand to tell you we're just out of sight of the land. On a Grand Island liner I'm sailing in style, but I'm sailing away from the Emerald Isle. And a long sort of sigh seemed to come from us all as the waves hit the last bit of old Donegal. Now 'tis well to be you that is taking your tay, while they're cutting the corn in Creeslot today.
Through all your lifetime, you're longing for the day, the lovely day that's coming later on, when pens and ink and copybooks will all be laid away, and that day is surely coming later on. For when you're really tired, having done your level best, and when the story's nearly ended and the sun sets in the west, then you'll lie down very gently, and the weary will find rest, and I fancy we'll deserve it later on.